Alabama recruiting is red hot, and On Three has three guys that they think are going to join this Alabama recruiting class. We're going to talk about that trio of elite players. We're also going to get into Jalen Milroe, talking about the difference between Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer as far as playing for these guys. We also have 2 tickets we're giving away to Big and Rich, July 7th, Pearl River Resort. So we're going to give you one more chance to win those tickets, and we'll pick a winner tomorrow. And Big Sexy Elmo is going to be here. He will be on the show to tell you everything that you need to know about today, including what today is and what happened today. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Guys, thank you guys, as I always say, for being here. We appreciate you a lot, and you know that. Roll Tide. Let's get the show started. All right, there he is, the most popular man in Walker County, Brett Elmore, Big Sexy
That's
Elmo.
saying a lot.
That is saying a lot. And I'm sure that you guys, if you were prowling around yesterday, you recognize him from Wesley's right there on the border of Walker and Jefferson County. No, I'm just kidding. But that is at Brett Elmore Show. I'm at Broadcaster Mick on the socials. And let's get this thing started right now, Brett. Let's talk about 3 guys that the gang at On Three, our friend Joseph Hastings, Andrew Bone, our buddy, Tim Watts, that crew have predicted to come to Alabama. And it starts with a guy that we've talked to a bunch. And I know exactly why they think Caleb Cunningham is predicted to come to Alabama, because he had a great visit and really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And he had a great interview right here. That guy, first of all, On Three, they do a great job. And pretty much when they make their predictions, they're pretty much spot on. I mean, or they have been in the past. Caleb Cunningham predicted to Alabama. Yeah, we talked to the receiver, I guess it was last week. Very energetic young man. You can't help but like the guy. A great product out of Mississippi. And I don't know, Mick, I got the impression, I probably just like a lot of our viewers, that the guy was coming to Tuscaloosa, and I stick with that.
Another guy from the Magnolia State, On Three, says A.K. Deer, the running back, is coming to the University of Alabama. Brett, you know that on Friday, this young man, the number 1 running back in America, soon to be 5-star, was in the Ole Miss camp and then out of the Ole Miss camp as he decommitted from the Rebels. And now it looks as though he'll join the parade of former Alabama running backs that are dominating in the NFL.
Yeah, you said it all right there. The dynamic duo from Mississippi. I think the decommitment was the telltale sign. You kind of had an inkling that this guy is going to flip. A pretty good idea that the guy was going to flip, but when he announced that he had decommitted from Ole Miss, that was the little flag waving, saying, you know what, this guy's probably coming to Tuscaloosa, boy. And I tell you, that's a couple of if we land those 2, that's a couple of studs from, like you mentioned, from Mississippi.
Yeah, Quitman, Mississippi. This A.K. Deer, fun player to watch. He can score touchdowns. He scores them in bunches. Both of those guys with elite speed, juking ability, or there's guys called now the wiggle. These are exciting players. A combination of speed, power, and elusiveness. And I'm telling you, it's going to bolster that class. And I got a good feeling that A.K. Deer is going to be a 5-star. I've said it from the beginning. You're the number 1 running back in the class. You're going to be a 5-star. Guys are going to drop off. Somebody's going to slide in there. I think it's going to happen. Not that matters. I mean, just for the recruiting aspect of it. But
sure,
I think that this guy's super elite.
Yeah, he'll end up being a 5-star. I didn't know they call it the wiggle now.
Well, some people do. Yeah,
they can wiggle. I can wobble.
That
Have you ever
sounds
done the
like a
wobble?
song. It
Have you ever done
sounds
the
like
wobble?
no, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's good. I'll have to show you one day when we get together, and we'll have to video it. I'll wobble with you.
Okay.
Wobble with you. Yeah.
Is there a song that goes with that, or is this just a
Mick, good grief. Join the. Why are you in the Stone Age? Yes, there's a song that goes with it. Jeez,
Okay.
look at this guy.
Yeah. All right, let's go out to the state of California and talk about this young man, a 4-star tight end named Kaleb Edwards. He is predicted to go to the University of Alabama, picking the Crimson Tide over the likes of UCLA, Washington, Texas, and more. A consensus 4-star tight end with size at 6'6", 235 pounds. He would be coming all the way over to the Yellowhammer State from California, El Dorado Hills, Oak Ridge High School. Is this young man next to the Crimson Tide?
Brett Elmore alongside Keith Jackson for the Bama Tailgate Show, ladies and gentlemen. He's throwing out the thunder today, man. He's throwing out the lightning.
You like that? Would you did that all the time, like the commentator, the old commentator voice?
Good evening and welcome to the Rose Bowl in beautiful Pasadena, California. We've talked a lot about Kaleb Edwards and this guy too is predicted to come to Alabama by on 3. You had some concern the other day about these kids coming from California.
Well, look, I'm not saying that it's a concern, but what I am saying is that it's a lot of guys from California, and you just wonder like how that transition's going to be. Now, Najee Harris made it, and Bryce Young, he had no problems with it either. But it's a big difference between California and Alabama as far as the heat and also the culture. Understanding the most important thing about our culture is we hate Auburn. But I guess when they show up, they learn that. Maybe it takes their first Iron Bowl. No, I think that it's important to go out and get the guys from around the state of Alabama, in the state of Alabama. And if you're going to go out and get super elite players, the California crew could come in and make a difference. And you're talking about, 2 of the best players that Alabama's had in Najee and Bryce. So they can come here and play. They're going to go somewhere and play. And these are players that the staff knows. So you just don't want to change too much of your Alabama culture, which is kind of like a blue collar style of football. But at the same time, if you're able to get those guys to come and they're elite players, I don't want to say it's a concern, but it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of guys from California in the class now.
Are you under the impression or the assumption that West Coast players are softer than Southern players?
I don't know about that, man. I just know.
All right, look, let's cut to the chase. My dad was old school, all right, and he said, "Them boys on the West Coast, they play that sissy ball," But no, I know what you're saying. It's different here.
Yeah,
it just
it's
is.
Different. Yeah, right.
It's different. The culture's different. Everything's different here. I think when you walk into the door, once you commit to Alabama and get on campus, you get an ID card that's says "I hate Auburn." You have to sign a pledge to that, probably. But I'm glad we're getting them in bunches like we are, because there's going to be several guys that know one another from California. And they're all adjusting together. And all those guys know one another.
Just in the 2025 recruiting class, Mr. Brett Elmore, talk about some of the guys, including cornerback Dijon Lee, who just committed to Alabama on Friday. He joins Chuck McDonald, also from the Golden State. Also coming from California, Jackson Lloyd, the offensive lineman from Carmel. Not done yet, though, because California still has more representation in this class, as Abdul Sanders comes to Tuscaloosa from Mater Dei, which is an Alabama pipeline now. And California, what is that? 4 guys from California in this class. But don't forget about Alex, the punter, with the last name that I can't pronounce. So that's 5 guys from California.
And I want each and every one of them. Welcome aboard.
Come on, baby. Come on in now.
Because these guys are elite players. I mean,
we love them. We love them. All right. Talking about difference between Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer. Jalen Milroe was on a show Saturday down south, I think it's called, and he said, "What's the difference? When did you realize it was a different game under Kalen DeBoer?" And he says, "I threw this touchdown pass. Everybody was going nuts. I just looked to the sideline for the next play, and I think it was Kalen DeBoer's like, 'Why aren't you celebrating?' And he's like, 'Because I'm waiting on the next day, the next play.' He's like, 'Well, you celebrate with your teammates. We'll get the next play in.'" That to me seems like it's going to be a big time difference between the Saban process, handing the football back. I hope that it never changes where we hand the football back to the official and act like we've been there. But at the same time, this guy, Kalen DeBoer, is all about these players having fun, and I think that's important too. I'm all about that.
I'm for him having fun, but you don't. You can have fun and not like discipline. There's a fine line there.
Right.
I mean, you got to get the next play in. I mean, but have fun, but be disciplined. And that's, I'm all for the fun. That's what you're supposed to do. It's a fun game to play, but the discipline is more important than anything.
Yep. No doubt.
That's something I hope we don't lose.
It's going to be something we'll be keeping an eye on early. I mean, you got some really tough games at the beginning of the season, throughout the season, really. But when the going gets tough, are these guys relaxed? And if that's what you're getting out of, hey, enjoy the game, and you make a big play, it's okay to show emotion. Make it fun, make it relaxing. We saw that with Washington last year when, they basically put their boot right through the rear end of the Oregon Duck, right? And the Ducks were picked to beat them, I think, twice, and they beat them both times. They weren't tight. They were loose. They made the big plays. They won the Pac-12, and they got to the college football playoff, and then they took out Texas for the second straight year. They get into these games where, if you aren't relaxed, then you're not doing your best, and maybe that's what they're getting out of these guys with this style. All right, Brett, let me bring the announcer voice back in. You ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to win 2 tickets to see Big and Rich, not Big and Rick, but Big and Rich, as they are coming to Pearl River Resort with Gretchen Wilson. That's going to be on Saturday, July the 7th. And we want to give you tickets to this show. We want you to go into the comment section like you do every single day, like the video. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Share with your friends and tell us why you can go to the concert and what you love about the show and Big and Rich. And we're going to pick between yesterday and today. We're going to go through the comment section, and we are going to send someone over to Pearl River Resort for the concert. Come into your city, Brett.
That's right. Looking forward to it. It'll be a big weekend at Pearl River, and you can be there and check out Big and Rich and Gretchen Wilson.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Guys, our show's always brought to you by the great people at Pearl River Resort. We appreciate them a lot for getting on board and making this channel happen. Those guys are awesome, and so is Pearl River Resort. I mean, you're talking about a great place. You got Golden Moon Casino, Silver Star Casino, 30 years they're celebrating right now, the 30th anniversary. Boys to Men, still tickets available. That's coming up on the 5th, right? And then actually I got the date wrong on there. The 6th is Saturday, and that is the Big and Rich concert. So we'll fix that, that slide that we threw out there. But anyway, tickets are available, Pearl River Resort. But they got table games and slots. They've got the Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style sports book that you can play. And you can do it legally. So check it out. You spend $50 there. You get to play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course for just $40. You can't beat that. It's going to be fantastic. All right, when we come back, Big Sexy takes over the show. And he's going to tell us what's going on today. Get in that comment section and roll tide, everybody.
Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Yes, it's officially July the 1st, Mixter.
Mm.
And guess what today is?
Time to pay your mortgage.
That and
or the rent.
Yeah. I paid mine last week. Today is the first official day for Texas and Oklahoma to be in the SEC.
Wow. Well, welcome in, guys.
Yeah.
What a surprise that was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming. And then when they announced that, I was like, well, that conference, that Big 12 is officially done. I mean, I guess they're still playing, but it's just, it's the sisters of the poor now. Sorry.
But today's the first official day that they're now officially in the SEC.
Well, it changes things because Texas and Oklahoma, they have great sports programs. Softball is dominated by Oklahoma, and football, you're going to be dealing with all that Texas money now coming from not one school but two. And Texas A&M hates that they're in there because that was the one thing they had over. Now they don't.
Yep.
They're both in. But get ready for that game to happen again. Texas A&M, like we're back to it again. You think that rivalry was bitter before? Oh, no. Now that you're in the SEC, you're going to find out it just got even more bitter.
Celebrity birthdays. We got a boatload of celebrity birthdays today and some really good ones. Guess who's 57 today? A lady that you may know, Mick. You may have watched this animal rights activist. She frequently married rock stars. I think she even made a movie with one, and she was in Baywatch. Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, I like Pamela Anderson. Man, I don't really, I don't know her, but yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. She made a movie one time. Was really popular. Can't remember the name of it, but anyway. Dan Aykroyd, the actor, comedian, original cast member of SNL, is 72.
Somebody told me that he might be autistic or like slightly autistic, or
Really?
like something. Yeah, I've heard that before. And as a dad of an autistic kid, it gives you hope to see that. Not that he had to deal with that, but if that's the case, the guy's hilarious, and he's one of the best. I mean, he was a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Right. And he was also a Blues Brother.
Yes, that is correct. What a great movie.
But a lot of other roles, and all anyone ever says about him that meets him out on the street is that he's a great guy.
Carl Lewis, the Olympic gold-winning track and field athlete, 63 today.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, when you would run outside and you would be real fast, or if you were really slow,
yeah,
people would call you Carl Lewis. One was because you were fast, and then the other one was because they were making fun of you.
Right. They made fun of me for that. Liv Tyler, another babe, 47 today. Of course, she's an actress, but also she's the daughter of Steven Tyler.
Yeah. And I've had this debate about her dad. I don't think Aerosmith they're not one of my favorite bands. But I would say, like, American rock band wise, they have to be one of the top 10, and then maybe you could put them in the top 5 all time.
Yeah, I was going to go see them one time at the BJCC in Birmingham, and like the day of the show or the day before the show, the big scoreboard that's on top of the ceiling there that they use for basketball and stuff, it fell, and that canceled the show. Would have been really bad if that place was sold out and that thing fell.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that happens in Alabama.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But anyway,
why? I don't know.
Wally Amos. You may not know that name. He's a businessman, but he was the founder of Famous Amos Cookies. He's 88 today.
Well, happy birthday! Your cookies have made a lot of us fat. They're like those Famous Amos, like they're the kind of cookies that you get at like the middle of nowhere gas station. Like you went on a hunting trip and you go in and you're gonna get some snacks.
What you want, boy? Give me some Famous Amos.
they're always cheap and they go down fast.
Yeah, they're good. They're cheap. They go down fast. Yeah, you get you a bag of those, some Slim Jims, and a Mountain Dew, and you're good to go.
Yeah, Donald Duck orange juice.
Donald Duck orange juice. Yeah. And finally, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, the rapper. I can't believe she is 53 today.
Getting old. It happens to the best of us, Missy Elliott.
That's right. If you're looking for something to celebrate today, are you a big fan of chicken wings? Because it's International Chicken Wing Day.
The answer to that. Not only am I a big fan of chicken wings, I love chicken wings. And I'd started a beer review during COVID, right? And then Terrence, one of my good buddies, Terrence and I, who you met Terrence, right?
Yeah.
We were going to start a chicken wing review show. We were going to go around and try chicken wings and review them. But the night before, when we had the meeting to do it, we ate chicken wings. And then that was the night that I got sick and ended up with the appendectomy, which isn't really related, but in my mind it is.
Yeah.
So chicken wings have suffered because I suffered. Like I thought the whole time that I just had a stomach ache from chicken wings until I almost died.
Yeah. Yeah, that would kind of make me a little leery too.
It's like when you throw up and it's pizza and then, or some food and you're like, or vodka or alcohol, and you're like, I'm never touching that again. I'm never going to have tequila again, or I'm never going to drink this.
That Mad Dog 2020 really did it to me last night.
Everybody's got one.
Porcelain God.
You guys are sitting at home and you're going, yeah, mine's this or mine's that.
Yeah.
Throw that in the comment section. Yeah. What's yours?
Yeah, everyone's got one. You were talking about this yesterday, oddly enough.
What's yours? What's yours?
What's my what?
The food that you don't want to eat because you got sick from it one time.
Mick, I hate to tell you this, but I don't have one. I mean, maybe I had a bad time with it, but it was like, you know what? I'll try it again. It was fun.
Life is full of second chances to you.
Yeah, I'm a second chance and even a third chance guy sometimes. You were talking about this yesterday. International Reggae Day.
Oh, yeah, because I love Bob Marley. And I was listening to some Bob Marley today. I just heard it so many times, like the songs and everything, that you got to be able to go back and listen to old concerts now to really hear just different versions of the same song. And unlike the Grateful Dead, Bob Marley made a mistake not having more people tape the shows because there just isn't a huge catalog of, Bob Marley bootlegs, maybe there are, we just don't have them, but he's a legend. I mean, he really is a legend. I know that his album was called Legend because he is a legend. Then you hear one song and then that leads you to the next song and then that leads you to the next song and you just get stuck there listening to him, great boat music, really fun vibe. I love Bob Marley. Yeah. Toots and the Maywell, they were good too, though. There's other great reggae guys too, but Bob Marley just talks to you, man. It's like you in there.
Yesterday we were talking about the marijuana, and I looked at the comment section and
he always had a big spliff, Bob.
And there was a lot of people that would really like to smoke a joint with you, Mick.
They get deep conversations, guys. Deep conversations. Can you imagine, Brett? You know me, some of the stuff that pops out in those situations.
Right. Today And of
Where are
course,
we going next week, by the way?
where are we going next week? Oh, we're going to Vegas.
That's right. What are we going to do?
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to see Dead and Company 3 nights
That's
in a
right.
row.
That's right.
Boom.
And
That's what we're doing, guys.
Are we doing our show from out there?
We have to, man. We got to share the environment with all of our friends, I think.
Oh, now that's going to be some must-see stuff.
It's just like Joe Rogan.
Must-see.
I'm sorry. For those of you that don't, and I'm not, I'm just kidding.
It's going to be some must-see.
I mean, maybe.
You're a big ice cream guy. Today is National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day.
I love ice cream. I like trying different flavors. But to me, peanut butter and chocolate ice cream, cookie dough ice cream, those you can't touch those, man. I mean, like in the peanut butter sauce. Have you ever had that peanut butter sauce? There used to be a restaurant near my house called Friendly's, and they would have these like amazing sundaes. I mean, and you would get it, and it would just be in this scepter, you know, and like
is that what you was talking about? The those things that you used to get
a chalice, not scepter, chalice. It would be in a chalice, like a big chalice.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I said scepter. Everybody's like, wait a second, what? They can't do it in a stick? No, chalice. And then it had Reese's Pieces in it. It had that, that fudge, the peanut butter sauce, and then, whipped cream on top. I always went cookie dough ice cream.
Yeah.
Man, amazing.
Yeah.
I'd go get one
you
now.
are definitely a connoisseur.
What about you?
The peanut butter ice cream is good. There's a place down the road from me. That's what they featured. Oh man, today's the 1st of July, so it's going away. Oh, I'm devastated.
That peanut butter and jelly milkshake thing.
They had a peanut butter and jelly milkshake, a regular peanut butter milkshake, and then a peanut butter fudge milkshake. And those things were absolutely amazing. But anyway, I think they do a different flavor every month, and now it's gone. Gone. Let's take a look at what happened this day in history. 1963, the Postal Service introduced the first 5-digit zip code. I represent the 35501.
Yeah, it's a part of our life now. I mean, we're all known by our zip code, 36532, right?
Yeah.
And 36559 for me.
Well, I bet you had one of these, Mick. I had one. 1979, Sony introduced the Walkman.
Yeah, I had a Walkman. Like I've always loved radios. I mean, the first one I had was I had a little transistor radio when I was really small that I got from Radio Shack. And it had like one of these, like the first one I ever saw where you could plug it in and listen to it. I listened to ball games all the time on there, talk radio, music. And I think that's why I got the bug like you, where we love radio. You do a radio show every morning. I just like to, which I don't know if I should tell everybody this, but I like to grade sometimes the songs that you play.
Yeah. He's such a weirdo.
I'll say 1 to 10.
Yeah.
If I get up like tomorrow,
trying to do my show, trying to do my job, and I'll get a text. I'll look down 3, and I'm like,
when I get in the car for a long time, I usually put you on the app. I just like, I need driving music, and then you'll slow it down with something I don't like. Yeah, I will tell you that. But then a lot of times I'll tell you if you're going to roll, I will give you the roll.
Yeah. So join me every morning on Mick FM. Also, this day in history, and I hate to hit you with all the bad stuff, but this is what we have on the calendar, and that's what it is. Okay. It is what it is.
All right, throw it out there.
1991, Michael Landon died. 1995, Wolfman Jack died. 2000, Walter Matthau died. And 2005, a great soul singer, Luther Vandross, died.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that is a group right there. I mean,
yeah, I was looking at the list and I was like, Man, I'm sorry. I missed one. 2004, Marlon Brando died.
Yeah. The man, I'll tell you, like start with Michael Landon. I mean, that was a shocker, man. Like, because he had cancer.
Yep.
He was a huge star, beloved in Hollywood and everything. He's on Little House on the Prairie and a bunch of other stuff.
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, Luther Vandross, what a great singer.
Banana.
There's a lot of kids are probably our age that are kids because of that singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're creating a romantic environment at home, back then, I mean, you might throw some Luther Vandross on and anything.
I can go ahead and tell you this. When after that Boys to Men concert coming up this weekend, I better not hear no knocking on the walls while I'm trying to sleep. I'm going to go next door and bang on the door and say, "Hey, keep it down, pal.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. Elmo's trying to sleep in here." And Wolfman Jack died. Of course, he was a famous disc jockey.
Yeah. We had the Wolfman Jack album. We had the Wolfman Jack. We had this old in our basement. What were those things? Those big giant Super 8. Were they called Super? No, they weren't called Super 8s. The tapes that were the big tapes.
Are you talking about 8 tracks?
8 tracks, and it was like Wolfman Jack's like greatest hits of the 50s or something,
Yeah,
and it'd be like, all right, everybody, it's Wolfman Jack coming up next, and then it would be like, I wonder, who wrote the book of love? It'd be all those songs. Had like a lady roller skating on there with some ice cream on.
Right. Someone keeps commenting, what about Louie by the Kingsmen? And I don't know what they're commenting about, but I do like Louie by the Kingsmen.
That was actually on that you nailed it. That was on there too.
Yeah. Okay.
Louie.
And I tell you, a great actor was Walter Matthau. I loved him in Grumpy Old Men.
No, he was better. He was better in Bad News Bears.
I knew you was going to say the Bad News
basically
Bears.
Great baseball movie. I kind of feel like we're like the Bad News Bears of of Alabama. We're just get on here and do it. We're not always perfect, but we just keep coming at you every day from our rough angle.
Speak for yourself, pal. Anyway, that's a look at this day in history. This July 1st, 2024.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks. Love you guys. And again, have a great day and roll Tide.